podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your mid-afternoon catch-up on all things Liverpool FC, and not a whole lot going on, as per. Lots of temper tantrums being had, lots of meltdown over an 18-year-old centre-back who's a pretty horrible fit next to the fella they believe is the linchpin of their defence. If they are to line up with Delo, Yoro, Martinez and Shaw as their first-choice backline next year in front of Onana, I would bet they concede over 60 goals just in the Premier League. Yoro is not ready to be a starter in the Premier League. Martinez isn't good enough to be a starting centre-back in the Premier League. Shaw will be injured for most of the season, and their midfield remains a mess. Now, they're being linked with Manuel Ugarte, who's really good, but that, of course, is causing more temper tantrums and more meltdowns and more soiled underpants among the tinfoil hat brigade in the Liverpool fan base. And I would have really liked Ugarte for us. I'd actually be more annoyed about missing out on him for us than I am Yoro, because Yoro would have come in to us as, at best, fourth choice, but Ugarte would walk in and start, and him and Alexis is a pairing that would work. But him and Mainu, I don't really see as a pairing that works. Neither of them are good progressive passers, and neither of them are the type of midfielder that sits in and protects the back four and does that shielding job. Mainu wants to go and try and win the ball high up. Ugarte's a roaming destroyer who wants to go and win the ball back. And that's going to leave them very open in front of a centre-back pairing that is going to get targeted physically next year. Yoro, for all his talent, is very, very skinny and can be bullied off the ball. And Martinez is 5'8". They're going to struggle next season. They're not going to be a top 4 team as currently constituted, even with Ugarte coming in. Now, maybe there's others to follow. We'll wait and see. But the bottom line of it is they're still going to be managed by Erik ten Hag. And they still haven't secured a goal scorer that's going to get them consistent goals unless Rashford comes back to life. Højlund is still young, inexperienced, raw, a bit thick. And Xerxes, talented as he is not a big-time goal scorer. Now, maybe he does find a vein of goal-scoring form next season, but you look at this past season with Bologna, which is the only season he's actually put together at a high level, and he get 12 goals, 13, something in that range. He's not a big-time goal scorer. And if he's starting, you do ask questions about why they paid 80 million for the other fella. So, I don't know why everybody's so worried and upset about them. Yeah, they're signing players that have been linked to us, but they're not particularly good fits for what they have. They don't seem to be buying for what they have now. Maybe the plan is that in 2 to 3 years, this all comes together. But that won't sit well with their fan base. And of course, there does remain the chance that Ten Hag gets sacked in November, and fresh off a little holiday, Gareth Southgate is their new manager. So, that's something to follow as well. Ugarte would have been better for us than he would be for them. But such is life. There's other better options out there for us, in that defensive midfield position. The three most obvious ones are Alan Varela, Morten Yeoman, and Ederson, all of whom would make a lot of sense for us, all of whom would fit well with Alexis in a 2, or if Alexis was to play a bit more advanced, they could be used with Curtis in that double pivot type thing. So I don't really see why people continue to get themselves so wound up in the middle of July about transfers. Like, we will get the players we need, but it's a process. And there is validity to Arne Slot wanting to have a look at what he has and make decisions, because we don't want to go into next season with a bloated squad. We don't want to go into next season with a player who maybe the manager feels doesn't really fit what he wants. So there might be, it's not just about seeing what he has and then deciding what he wants. It's about seeing what he has and then deciding who he doesn't want. And there might be one or two players that he looks at and thinks, just no, not for me, not in this system, not in this shape. They're not going to work. But besides that, everything is, trundling along. We've appointed John Heithinger to bring into the management team. I think that will complete the first team coaching staff. I think everybody should be fairly confident now that we've done well there. We've obviously done very, very well in terms of the front office staff with Edwards and Hughes and Julian Ward coming back and the Portuguese chap coming in and all these intelligent people and highly qualified people being brought in. And then, things fall into place beyond that. Our lads are only back in pre-season a couple of weeks. There's still so much work to be done. And, like I said the other day, when you look at centre-back, if we've got Virgil, Ibu, that's the best pairing in the world. Like, there's nobody that even comes close to it. That's the best centre-back on the planet and a top 5 centre-back on the planet when he's on it. Like, the only guy better in the league than Ibu is Virgil. When Ibu is playing and playing well, there's only Virgil that's better than them. So that pairing is outstanding with the best keeper in the world behind them. Trent at right back is the best right back in the world. The issue in the defence is left back. That's what needs to be added to. We need to add a left back, and someone like Lukeba would be great. Calafiori would be great. The Arsenal deal seems to be kind of stuck at the moment. Maybe there's an opportunity there if we decided to make a move. We've got good depth. You've got Bradley at right back. Gomez can play there. In the middle, you've got Kwanzaa, you've got Gomez, you've got Vandenberg, who, by all accounts, is absolutely thriving in training and really impressing everybody. So why wouldn't we just keep him? Why would we sell him for, 18 million and then go and spend 60 million on a younger, less proven, less physically ready centre-back, even if that centre-back is going to be better in 2 or 3 years? Like, more, not better, but because I think he's probably about the same level now, but I'm talking about physically better. Like, Yaro has the physical traits to become a monster. He just needs to bulk up and get some more experience, in terms of those physical battles. But like, we're in a really good situation with those 5 centre-backs. We've got a strong situation at right back. If Costas or Robbo were to leave and we were to bring in Lukeba, you'd still have the other of Costas and Robbo. You'd still have Gomez, and you'd still have the likes of Chambers and Scanlon. So we'd be in a great position at left back as well. And obviously behind Ali, we've got Kelleher and Yaros. And if Kelleher leaves, then, so be it. We'll get 25 million for him. We'll be able to go out and get an experienced goalkeeper on the cheap to come in and replace him in the group. He'll go to third choice, and you imagine Yaros becomes the second choice. But that's a really strong position to be in defensively as well. You know, literally that defence is just lacking a left back. Go and add a good left back this summer and we're in a great spot defensively. Now, obviously, there's two issues that are hanging over it, which is the Virgil contract and the Trent contract. In particular, I think the Virgil contract is more straightforward. I think it gets done pretty soon after he gets back. The Trent one, I'm not sure on. Because of the Real Madrid link, that does obviously gives you pause for thought because it's Real Madrid. But I mean, if he goes there, he's absolutely going to be a right back. He's never playing in midfield for them. So if that's what the issue is, then, you know, he's only going to go to Real because it's Real. I don't see that he'd go anywhere else. And I still feel like at 25, if he was to stay for the 3 or 4 years, Real would still be there for him at 28, 29. So I do think overall, when I look at the different options here, I do think it'll get done. I think there might be a little bit of discomfort in terms of how much we have to pay him. I think it'll be more than what Edwards would like to pay, but I think we will get that one done. Which means that, you know, we can move forward with a great defensive unit. And if Sepp Vandenberg leaves, you go and you buy someone of equivalent standing and equivalent money. You don't need to go and spend 62 million on a fourth or fifth choice centre back. You can go and get someone for like 18 to 20 million who's going to be really good. In midfield, we know there's an issue at defensive midfield, but we've got a really good group of central midfielders. We've got good attacking midfield options. We've got our left-wing options. Neither of them are ideal, but they are what they are. And we've seen the CEO of Newcastle come out now and say Anthony Gordon's staying here. So that's the end of that. People want to listen to Indy Kayla. Lads, please, stop embarrassing yourselves. Indy from time to time gets bits and pieces, but let's not pretend he's got the inside track on Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon's going to stay at Newcastle now. And the only way we change left wingers, I think, this summer is if we buy Nico Williams. Because then I think Luis Diaz would go to Barcelona. I think that's how that would work. I'd be well on board with that. I'd be absolutely on board with that. But I think that's what would happen in that situation. I wouldn't be against the idea of bringing in a right winger. I don't think it's needed because we have Harvey as a backup to Mo. But if you told me we could get Matthias Sula or, I mean, if Arda Güler became available, then I'd say, yeah, absolutely go and do that. And you're getting your your right winger of the future in that situation. But other than that, I don't see a point. Like, I don't look at someone like Bakayoko and think, oh yeah, he's going to become a first choice player for us. I don't see it with him. Sula, I can see it. Güler, everybody can see it. So you bring them in behind Mo, and then you've got those two there. Harvey and Dominic as the 10s. Dominic is the starter, Harvey is the depth. Again, Nico Williams is the only left winger I can see us getting this summer because Keach is off the board. And then up front, I think we're going to be set. I think we have what we're going to have. Darwin, Jota, Gakpo's an option there. And obviously Jayden Dans might play some games in the Cups. So I think we're fine. Like, when you look at the squad, we only need... See, this people get confused between need and want. We need a defensive midfielder and a left back. People want a right winger, a left winger, and a centre back. But there's no need for them. Like, regardless of their flaws, both Cody and Diaz are very good players. Are they suited to this team? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know yet. Neither of them were well used by the previous regime. Dominic can also play there. Another one who was poorly used by the previous regime. Like, let's wait and see how these players do under this manager. There's a real chance he gets a lot more out of Darwin, a lot more out of Dominic, a lot more out of Diaz, or a lot more out of Cody. If even two of them improve significantly from what we saw under Jurgen, that improves the team. There's a real possibility we take a step forward this year. This idea that Jurgen was overachieving is nonsensical. The floor for last year's team was third. I know he dealt with a lot of injuries. Some of them were of his own making because he overplayed players and ignored the advice of certain people in the medical department. There's an article on The Athletic going back maybe 8 months from Simon Hughes, which details some of the issues with our medical department and how certain people were constantly being ignored due to one person who's now left the club and gone to join Pep and Linders at Salzburg, being given too much power in the medical department. And the reason he got given that power is because he was close to Jurgen. Same reason Linders got given so much power and so much involvement in the recruitment, because he was close to Jurgen. But there's a real chance that Arne Slot can get more out of some of these players. Now, like, he's not going to get more out of Mo, because Jurgen got every bit out of Mo. Jurgen got every bit out of Virgil, out of Trent, out of a lot of players. But the ones bought in recent years, it doesn't feel like he did, because the team of the last few years didn't feel like a Jurgen Klopp team. It felt like we were buying for one thing and then playing something else. But if Arne can get, like I say, more out of, let's just say, Darwin and Dominic, that improves us massively. If they're the 9-10. We know what Salah's going to be. Salah's still going to be world class. And then it's only about, if we can get the two left wingers performing at like a 6 out of 10 every time one of them plays. It doesn't have to be 8s and 9s. 6s and 7s will do, because we've got so much ability in the other 3 attacking spots. So we don't need to go and buy 2 new wingers. I would like to see us do it, but that's not need. We have 2 left wing options. 3, 4 if you want to include Jota and Darwin. 5 if you want to include Dominic. We've got plenty of options that can play there at a good level. We don't have anyone that can play defensive midfield at a good enough level, and we don't have anyone that can play left back at a good enough level. That's why we need those positions filled. That's why we need those players. The rest, that's just want. You want a better centre-back than Joe Gomez. You don't need it. He's the 4th or 5th centre-back. You don't need a better one. You just need someone that can come in and do a job when they're called upon. And last year, Joe did a job when he was called upon. If Joe plays like he did last year, we're good in defence if we get that left-back sorted. We're real good in defence if we get that. If we get that left-back sorted and Joe Gomez playing like he did it last season. We know we're going to be good in goal. We know we'll be good in attack. We have the players. And this guy is a creative attacking coach. His on-ball play is very similar to De Zerbi. We know we'll create chances playing like that. Left back, defensive midfield. Get them done and we're good. But they don't have to be done today. They don't have to be done tomorrow. They just have to be done before the end of the transfer window. What else have we got on This Is Anfield? Adrien Rabiot to Liverpool transfer rumours. Why free agent is unlikely to sign. 1, his age. 2, he will want obscene amounts of money. And 3, even though Jurgen is gone, I would believe the dickhead test would stay in place, and I don't think Adrien Rabiot passes it. Liverpool's crazy minutes clock for club and country in 23-24. Let's have a look at that. And see who has played the most. I'm guessing Virgil probably. We did miss a couple of league games. It is Virgil. For club and country, wow. So 4,072 minutes for us, 1,323 for the Netherlands. Luis Diaz, 3,615 for club, 1,326 for country. Alexis, 3,501 for club, 1,060 for country. Darwin is third, 3,026 for Liverpool, 975 for Uruguay. Brings him in just ahead of Mo, 3,132 for Liverpool, 855 for Egypt. Obviously, Mo missed quite a bit of time with an injury. So if not, Mo would probably be second on this list. Cody is third, 3,017 for Liverpool, 925 for the Netherlands. Szoboszlai, 2,704 for Liverpool, 1,137 for Hungary. Endo, 2,758 for Liverpool, 985 for Japan. Allison, 2,880 for Liverpool, 720 for Brazil. And then Elliott, 2,786 for Liverpool, 637 for England, but it's England with 21. It's not the same level of intensity or caliber of football, but, you know, they have to sneak them in. That's a lot of football. I would imagine one of the things Virgil wants to discuss is playing a little bit less for us, not constantly being relied on the way he is for us. I would bet that's a factor. Liverpool will play Championship side this Friday in Arne Slot's first match. Is that today? I assume it is today. It's behind closed doors game. That game could already be over. I have no idea. Shows how invested I am. Work is still continuing on the Anfield Road stand and on the new pitch, which is obviously good. Good to see. Let's check Anfield Watch and see if they've got anything new. Alexis McAllister weighs in on the backlash to Enzo Fernandez's racist chant. It didn't read all that well, so, you know. Fabrizio Romano gives significant João Neves transfer update. After Benfica star was named Liverpool priority target, he has unlikely ever been a target for us. Makes no sense for us. And it's just going to be another reason for people to have temper tantrums. Looks like Reece Williams is on his way out the door, has apparently a couple of different options. Liverpool Argentina star insists Enzo Fernandez is a great guy. That's kind of what Alexa said. There's a picture of Mascherano, so I'm assuming he said similar. Liverpool Tyler Morton conundrum revealed as Sevilla, Leipzig and Frankfurt circle. I don't know what the conundrum would be. Sell the lad and get money and move on. There's not a whole lot new on here. No, there's nothing else there. So AnfieldIndex.com. There is a piece on Mark Guehi, a piece on Lenny Yarrow, Paul Gorst, who doesn't know his arse from his elbow, saying he's a bit surprised Liverpool didn't move from a logic has never been a Paul Gorst strong point. There's a piece on Dominic, who the president of the Hungarian FA said was playing through injury. Piece on the work being done at that stadium. And then, podcast-wise, there is the new David Lynch podcast, which you can check out. And there is the new Scouser Tommies, which is Jim and Jay. I'm sure Trev mentioned both of them yesterday. Trev obviously did yesterday's Daily Red, so thanks to him for that. I'm not sure what the weekend schedule is. I think it's me tomorrow and Dave Davis on Sunday, but we'll see. It could be Dave both days. We'll see. Right, folks, that's going to do me for today. I'll see you tomorrow. No, I'll see you either tomorrow or Monday. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
Sports Social Podcast Network.